All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Champions in Pursuit podcast, the podcast for crazy tennis people like you and I. Remember, if you have time to watch this podcast, you have time to go work on your serve. With that being said, to my left.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I play D3 tennis at University of Mary Washington, and I am a freshman.
Love it, love it. Okay, before we do get to the prompt, I'm pretty sure most people watching this will know you. But for the people that don't, most of your junior career, you trained under Coach Tony and I in Maybank, and then the last bit of your career at Sneed Farm, with Craig, Stokey, Mike, Carlos, and all them. The transition from going from being a junior, just playing normal tournaments to that college transition, let's talk about it a little bit. What are some things that are, I don't know, I wouldn't say challenging, but new things to you that you feel like, oh, this is a different transition to me just playing normal juniors?
First of all, I would like to say, to everybody who, plays juniors now, if you struggle with it, don't worry about it. College is 10 times better. Don't even worry about it, because once you get into upper level in the juniors, as you're getting kind of older, a lot of people aren't there for the tennis, and especially even in training. When I come home, it's hard to even go back to a clinic at Sneed Farm to go train, because it's just so out of my mind. It's so different from college training. I just love college so much more. It's funny, a lot of the stuff from college, I expected. I was excited for, I was ready for. So I don't know if there was much I was surprised about. One thing that was surprisingly pleasant that I really love, my coach, I loved her even from when I first met her, but something I've thought about is it doesn't matter whether you're a freshman or a senior, she's going to treat you as the adult that you are, and you know your limits.
Yep.
She's going to keep running you until you say, all right, I need to go to the hospital. So the second fall tournament that we played, we were going to go play that weekend at, I think it was George Mason.
Yep.
And that, of course, the weekend before that, I was like, dang, I'm feeling kind of sick. I don't really feel good. And then it got worse. Monday and Tuesday were really bad, to the point where I went to the health center. I had a sinus infection. They gave me medicine. It was awful. I actually felt so awful. But of course I was like, I'm going to practice. We got a tournament this weekend. I'm not going to skip. So I talked to my coach beforehand though, and I just let her know, I was like, hey, I have a sinus infection. So I may not be playing great, but I'm going to play. And she was like, all right, as long as, she's like, you tell me if you're good to play, and if you're good, then you go ahead. And I mean, I had my moments where I had to turn around and be like, ugh, I feel bad. Let me cough it out behind, at the fence or whatever. And then I would just turn around and keep playing. And I definitely was not at 100%, but I gave 100% of what I had. And my coach never, while I appreciate coaches that do this, it's very they care, but I appreciate that my coach never was like, Sophia, are you sure? Are you sure you're okay? Do you need to take a break, get some water? She was like, all right, no, you need to run for that more. Or no, you need to finish over your shoulder with your forehand. And I was like, yes, ma'am, you're right. Because if I can't play when I'm sick, then even if I'm just minorly sick, I need to get over it and figure it out. Not saying that if you're sick, you shouldn't take a rest day, but
Absolutely.
I had already been sick for 3 or 4 days. I mean, it's not it's going to just, I've got to either deal with it or I can't play. You know what I mean? And I mean, it was only the second tournament of my freshman fall season. I'm not going to not play.
How were the nerves?
It's weird. I think our first tournament when we played at Navy, the nerves for that were much more. And I think the reason was maybe because it was the second one, I wasn't as stressed about it for George Mason, but also because I was so sick. I didn't expect much. But I won my match.
Oh, let's go.
But I didn't expect much, because I was I feel my parents even came to watch that weekend, and my mom brought me one of those Vapo sticks where you put it in your nose and it just clears your sinuses immediately, and you smell the North Pole for 10 minutes. And I was on court and blowing my nose every 2 seconds, but I won in a tiebreaker. So
hey, let's go.
But Navy, the nerves were definitely a lot worse at Navy. I played, that was not fun. I played doubles first, and doubles was okay.
Yeah.
I think my partner and I didn't really have much chemistry together,
Yeah.
like, or at least at that moment we didn't. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we would definitely play much better together now than we
Absolutely.
did then, just because it was the first tournament. Like, but I just feel like we were totally like not on the same page while we
Yeah.
were playing. So it was a lot of like us figuring out how to play that. Even though we'd played some practices already, the first tournament was not that long after school
course.
started.
Of course.
So we played okay. Definitely towards the end, we had some really good games that we like got back up, and I think we ended up losing like 6-4 or something, and we only played like one set, so that was like it. But then singles, oh god, I it's so weird. Like I had so much confidence
Yeah.
going into it, and I stepped on the court, and like my legs were jelly.
Oh, we know the feel. Hands get like wobbly. Your feet, like you gotta serve. You're like, yo.
I was like, I don't even know where to step. I was like, I forgot how to play tennis.
Oh my gosh.
So bad.
No, I get the feel.
It sucked more because the girl on the other side was foreign.
Yeah.
And she was like, she had like that athletic, like tomboy look.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because I always wanted to be that girl.
Why?
I always wanted to, like the athletic, like jacked looking, like rolled up her sleeves, like in the shorts. Like she looks athletic when she plays. Like she's got the bun on top of her head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, and I was like, oh no. The second I saw her, I was like, oh. And then she did end up cheating me, but it's okay.
Oh, we know.
Anyways, she cheated me like twice, and then I called one of her balls out, and she like got violently angry. And she like
Was it actually out?
No, yeah, it was out. It was out. It was out. No, yeah, it was out. It was out.
I thought you were about to say it was right. I was like, I'm about to cut that out.
I'm not petty like that. Don't play. Well, I'm not petty like that in actual matches.
Okay. No, in practice I cheat.
In practice.
I cheat all the time.
In practice, don't cheat me. Don't cheat me. I think Navy was also a very interesting one for me because I think it was especially nerve-wracking because it was a bunch of D1, D2, and D3 schools.
Yeah.
So we're a D3 school. Not to get wrong or anything. Like we're good. Like we are top 25 D3 in the nation. But it's still intimidating when you walk into Navy's facility and, you know, you see the D1 Navy team.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you're looking at them and they look all athletic and they look all confident and it's their home courts. Like, you know, it's a little intimidating. And I honestly feel like I'm one of the people on my team that's like not very like distinctive between the D1, D2, D3. Like, I really don't care. I want to see how you play on court.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But like, I know some of my teammates, they were like, don't tell me the name of the girl I'm playing. Don't tell me the UTR. Like, don't tell me anything about them. Just like, tell me what time I play. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's so fair because I know a lot of people in the juniors, when they played in juniors, like, a lot of coaches or like parents were so strict on like, they're this UTR, you're this UTR, you need to beat them. Like, and that can be so very like, that's one thing that I don't miss about the juniors because my coach doesn't give a about UTR.
Absolutely.
She does not care. Oh my God. She does not care at all. Like, she cares about, I think work ethic is the biggest thing and potential. If she sees you playing and you're not as good, but she sees that there's potential for you to be and that you have the work ethic for it, she will get you on her team. Like,
absolutely.
She does not, like, she doesn't play with, like, UTR, like, oh, you're just below a 7, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, and another thing I really like about my coach is she also bases the lineup off of, like, how everyone is playing.
Yeah.
She doesn't set a fixed lineup and run it the whole year. She doesn't do that. Because she knows, like, some people are playing better some weeks and some people are playing better other weeks. You know, everyone has their weeks where they're not in it. They can't do that. Maybe they can only play doubles. And she knows that. And so she moves the lineup based off of that. So I honestly think I have been very fortunate with my experience because it's so funny talking to some other, like, even just college students, not even athletes. Like, they come home and they're like, oh my God, like, my suite mates. Oh my God, like, my roommate, like, da-da-da. And I'm like, I room with one of my teammates and she's amazing. She's my best friend. And we literally have separation. Natalie, we literally have separation anxiety. We actually do. Like, we've been, like, FaceTiming, like, every day. And then my suite mates are like amazing. Like we all work so well together. Like
Yeah.
we don't even talk like 24/7, but like we'll do like weekly check-ins and we're like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up? What happened this week? Like, you know. And then
Absolutely.
we're like, okay, I'm gonna clean the bathroom this weekend. And then we leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're so chill. And then with my teammates, like we all hang out like basically every weekend at their apartments and stuff like that. So I feel like I've been very fortunate with the environment that I'm in.
Yeah.
And I feel like that definitely plays into like, you know, your mood with tennis as well. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can transition us from there, because I think that's a perfect stopping point. I think a lot of times there's this misconception in tennis, and I hear this a lot, and I know you probably hear this. I play tennis because it's an individual sport. And in my head, I think, okay, yes, maybe sometimes I'm on the court by myself, but I never feel as if when I play, I'm by myself. Like I got here by myself. I
Oh
think
yeah.
if you come in with that mentality, even from the way that you train, like if you don't see the people that you train with as your teammates, even if I don't know them, it could be a random clinic. But when I show up there, those are my teammates. My coach is a part of my team, right? Like
Absolutely.
every little thing, like your parents. I was even talking to your dad beforehand because I was like, you know, it's different for him now. Like he did all those
I
years of
know.
coming to your tournaments and he's sitting there. I was like, what did you do when you actually went up to go watch her? And he's like, yeah, you know, I talked to Allison. I was like, so what do we do now? Like, I don't have to run and go get her food. I don't have to be like, oh, there's a racket broken. Like we don't have to fix anything. Like I literally can sit
know.
here. I don't have to keep stats on my phone anymore. Like I don't have to do any of that. When people tell me it's an individual sport, I just know you're setting yourself up for failure. And so that leads us into this prompt here today, which I wanted to take us into. And I sent it to you earlier. But for the people watching or listening, okay, you get to be a coach. Okay. You get 5 people. These people have never played before. These are some of the most unathletic people that you've ever seen in your life. Okay. You will be playing against 10 other teams that have the exact same scenario. Okay. You get 1 year with this team from January to next preceding January, where you will compete and you must get your team to win. The goal is, what is your plan? What is your structure that you're going to take to get your team from that January 1st to that next January 1st that's going to put them in the leaderboard? You can go ahead.
Okay, first of all, the individual sport thing, bull.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yep.
Even people that aren't on my team, like even my friends like that aren't like either play another sport
Yeah.
at my school or they're just like my friends. Even that they like came to my matches, cheered me on, like
Yep.
like so much so my teammates, I had like 12 of my friends come to my match and my teammates were like, "Oh my god, we've never had this many kids at a tennis match."
Yeah. Your dad told
I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, guys, thank you for coming!
Yeah.
Like, awesome!" And like even those people, like they don't. Some of them don't even know tennis,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like still like they're watching me when they don't even understand it, and they're there for me after my match, whether I win or lose. And I think it's so not an individual sport.
Yeah.
Even on the court in college, you can have your coach on the court.
Absolutely.
They're talking to you. Like you're never alone, and I feel like having that mindset will make it worse in the long run because if you ever think that you're alone in that sport,
Yep.
you're going to start spiraling.
Absolutely.
Because I've been there. Like growing up, like it was thinking like, "Oh my god, this is a lone sport." Like I feel like volleyball. I played volleyball, and that was obviously team sport.
Absolutely.
And so thinking about the difference, like it was always just like, oh, I'm by myself on the court. When in reality, the whole time my parents were on the sideline, my friends were on the sideline, everyone else who was playing this tournament was there.
Yeah.
I was never alone. It was just my perception of it. So I feel like growing from that mindset is a must because that is not
Yeah.
a good mindset. Okay, I wrote a lot
Okay. And
about
I think,
this whole situation.
yeah, and so here I think what we're gonna do is like we'll kind of bounce back and forth. So give
Sounds
me
good.
your first. What are you doing in the
Okay,
first couple?
so my first thing, the first week. The
Yep.
first week, this is very important. Before we even start practicing, before we even start training, I need them all to go on a team outing together.
Yep, I'm kind of there
Team
too.
outing, team activity. You can go watch a movie and then have a sleepover, go get dinner. You can go play games. You can bake something. I don't care what you do.
Yep.
You guys are going to spend a day together. You can go shopping, whatever. And you guys are all going to hang out, get to know each other. And place I got this idea from is from actually when I got to school, because I went early and I went and did the Nest program, which was a program where literally all you do is go to school early and have fun.
Yeah.
That was literally it. And get to know people. And it was so much fun. And almost all of my friends now are from getting to know them from that or orientation. I think it's so important. You get to know each other so well through fun activities. And then eventually you guys start to acclimate to each other so well, you just feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it just sets such a good foundation. So that is my first thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Part of mine is bonding nights. I put that in my first one. I do not think people understand how important it is to bond with your teammates, the people that you are training with and the people that you trust to compete. Everybody says, oh, it's just business, right? If we don't like each other, it's fine. We'll just go out in the court and we'll just perform. That is not how humans work. That's not how humans work at all.
Where's the chemistry, though?
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to build that chemistry unless you're doing things that first, like you said, if I can just go to a movie, right? If I can just, I don't know, go paint, go bowling, go something, right? If you can build that chemistry to start, right, you're going to start off great. The other thing I had in my first 3 weeks, we are going to run our tails off. We are going to...
I literally have running every morning, a 1 mile run with everybody running together.
No, I mean, this run is bad.
Oh, yeah.
The first 3 weeks...
I'm starting them basic.
No. I mean, these first 3 weeks, I'm going to put them under so much stress that when they look at their other teammates, they're going to understand, hey, none of us can quit at this moment. Because the first thing for anybody, for any junior, for any training adult, if you start your practices without understanding you're giving 100% on every single ball that you play when you're on that court, you are never going to be a champion. I know y'all probably hated me for running y'all as much as you did.
Hate is a strong word.
Okay, maybe not hate, but
disliked for a couple hours afterwards.
But I understood, especially coming from my training, especially in basketball, if I run the nothing out of you, right? If I give you I don't want to call it pain, but it's pain. If I run you so much to the point that you're like, oh, nothing could be worse than this.
Nothing could be worse than this
nothing could be worse than this feeling. Like when you're in a third set tiebreaker and you see that lob go over your head, instead of huffing and puffing and saying, I'll let that one go, we got to chase it down. I'm going to tell you something right now. The first way to lose respect for me, if I see a ball go and you do not run for it, I will lose my mind as a coach.
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely.
My mind. I think in every coach is that way.
My coach is like that.
We don't ask for perfection. You don't have to be perfect at all. But 100% effort and committing, all I ask. But yeah, first 3 weeks, footwork, running, conditioning, and then team bonding for those first 3 weeks. That's what I got.
I have 2 things to add to that. One, my coach, if we miss a volley, we have to drop and do 5 push-ups.
Oh, wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
Seriously.
That's tough.
She's like, we are not missing volleys. She's like, I don't care if it's doubles, I don't care if it's singles. You miss a volley or an overhead, you're dropping and doing 5 push-ups.
Yeah, that's my type of coach.
Yeah.
That's my type of coach.
And if we stop running, she's like, what was that?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I love her so much. She's awesome, honestly.
What's your number 2 or your second thing you would do?
So I was talking about the team mile runs. I just want to touch on that really quickly.
Yeah.
Every morning I was going to say, when they wake up, they all go on a mile run together.
Yep.
Before your day even starts. And then they can go, get breakfast, whatever. And then including in that, I kind of have it set out where I have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then Tuesday, Thursday schedules. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, technique work on court. And then after that, going to watch footage and strategy and stuff like that. So technique on court, obviously to start off, you would have to showing them what to do, how the technique works. And so starting off, I'd probably just work on individual technique. But then the second they've got that contact, I'm making them hit together.
Yeah.
I'm making them hit together immediately. And technique, And then Tuesdays, Thursdays, team sprints and footwork on court, followed by individual sessions.
Okay.
So individual sessions can either be, depending on the week and what's going on that day, would either be individual like lesson or like meeting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because as much as like you need to be a team on court, you need to have breathing room to have your
Mhm.
own one-on-one sometimes and be able to
Absolutely.
talk about certain things about your game or how you're feeling or something like that. So I would want to do like an individual, like maybe hour session with
Yep.
everybody. And mandatory mental health sessions. I don't care if it's individual therapy, group therapy. I don't care if it's a conversation with me for an hour. I don't care what you want to do. You have to do one of them.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to let you be on court, be suffering, and then go home and sleep
Absolutely.
for 6 hours before dinner. Like,
Absolutely.
I can't explain how important that is because mental health sessions, therapy, whatever you want to call it, to make you feel comfortable, like it's necessary, especially for an athlete because you don't understand how much you're holding
Yep.
until you start talking about it.
Absolutely.
And so that is so important for me. I would probably put that on like either like on a free time like in one of the days of the week or sometime on the weekend. But I know I did want to make sure that Saturdays were their free day.
Yep.
They didn't have any Saturdays. They wouldn't have any specific like training from me. They could do whatever they want. If they want to go shopping, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to stay in and rest all day, but you don't have anything from me. Sunday they would be back to their mile run and I want to do yoga.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my week for the first month at least.
Yeah, I swear mental health, we got to make that like, that's got to be like a 5-week series.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go.
Yeah.
We could probably go every single day just talking about mental health. Just me personally. God, I'm
Honestly.
crazy. I need to talk to somebody. I'm not
I'm
joking.
here.
I know, I'm serious. I might just call you up one day. I'm like, hey, Sophia,
Do
I just
it.
need to talk. Before I get the technique or anything, we are going to do every little thing to learn how to compete.
Mhm.
Everything. I realize I only have a year with these guys. And so technique is probably not going to be the greatest after a year, but I need them to be able to compete. I mean, I don't care if we're playing Monopoly at nights or we're playing little games on courts where we're just competing, sprinting, just trying to get them to figure out like every ball, like I mentioned in the first half, you have to get to and you have to give me 100% effort. And before we even touch the rackets or trying to do that, if I can instill that in everybody before they grab that racket, that like when you start playing and you start using like your technique, it's more than just, oh, I'm just hitting the ball. I feel like that's how most people are nowadays. They grab the racket, they play, but I don't see too many competitors nowadays. I don't see too many people with that drive that are just like, I'm coming after you. Like it
Yeah.
keeps me up at night when I lose. I don't see too many people that like, I don't know, you don't sleep well. I'm not saying you should lose sleep, obviously,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't even concern most people. But most people go on court and they're so mad when they lose. But I'm like, but it doesn't affect you. Like you didn't go out and train afterwards.
exactly.
You didn't work hard beforehand.
There's no, you can be mad, but there's no punishment for it, or like,
Yeah.
you know, reprimanding for that.
Absolutely.
Like, you're mad you lost, but you didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. And so that really gets to me. So before then, I'm going to do everything to just teach them to learn how to compete. And then I'm going to jump to 3. Then I think from February to May, so my first 3 weeks were, running everything, bonding. The next 3 weeks were like competing. From mid-February to May, we're going to drill technique. And all I'm trying to get them to understand is hit low to high. If you can hit low to high and run, I think that covers 80% of basic technique that you need to compete, that I think within a year for beginners, I think that'll be more than just, I'm not even going to focus on topspin that much. If they don't have topspin in a year, I could care less. But if they can get high to low and get the ball over the net, 10, 12 times in a row, that's my real focus. What do you have?
In terms of food,
Yep.
nutrition,
Huge.
huge, so huge. This is such a funny topic because I know so many people like in sports, like nutrition, are like so strict with their diet. Like I know like weightlifters are like very strict on like how much protein intake, how much this, that. I hate that. I'm sorry. I know you probably don't agree with that, but I
Oh, go ahead.
hate
It's your list.
I hate the like specific like calorie counting. Oh, I need this much protein for this day. So I would probably first of all like hire a nutritionist to create a list of specific to tennis players, a list of like what do we really need to have the best fitness? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like protein, carbs, like whatever everything is. Like I would probably just create a list and then have her create a list of like foods that are good and would be like easy in meals and stuff like that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
them to make.
Absolutely.
But I'm also not going to sit there and criticize them for going to get a fast food meal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I am not going to criticize them for going to Starbucks. Like hypocritical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to sit there as the coach who's not running and training and doing all this and tell them no, you're not allowed to have a cheat meal. I am however going to tell them look for what makes your body feel good. Everyone's different. Like some people are going to respond super well to like salads every day and some people are not. I'm really big on like I'm not going to push them like if they have a soda once a week. I'm not going to be like that's awful, you know?
Absolutely.
So I feel like I'm a little more lenient with it, but as a coach if I did see it getting out of hand, I would probably have an individual talk with them and be like, hey, like, yeah, I noticed, like, after you eat this, like, you play much slower than, like, this. Like, it doesn't seem like that makes you feel better when you're playing. Like, can I offer some help? Like, stuff like that. But always encouraging, never reprimanding.
Yeah.
You know?
And for most juniors, any sport, I'm going to be honest, everybody eats like trash.
No one cares.
First of all,
no one cares.
Every single tournament, where is everybody at? Jersey Mike's. Pounding Jersey Mike's after a tournament.
Hold on, don't diss Jersey Mike's.
No, I'm not dissing. I'm not.
I love Jersey Mike's.
No, I'm not dissing Jersey Mike's. I literally had Jersey Mike's before this, so we can relax. But I'm saying, like, literally every junior tournament, everybody hits up Starbucks, Jersey Mike's, some shop, and you pound like this food, and then you go play your next match.
Oh, low-key, I can only eat half the sandwich. Otherwise, even if I'm hungry, I can't eat the whole thing. I'll throw up.
It doesn't matter how many times we tell y'all don't eat too much. Then we go on to the next match, and immediately we see y'all get like 2 games into the like first set. You're like, oh.
I can't breathe.
Everybody's like, oh.
I can't breathe.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, I shouldn't have ate so much. Yeah, I tried to tell you not to eat so much. But I think the thing to really focus on is if it doesn't affect how hard you practice and how hard you play on court, I'm kind of A-okay with it. I do know specifically, yes, you need enough protein so your body's not breaking down as we're training, right? You need enough carbs on the day to give yourself enough energy. As long as we're roughly within that realm. Now, we're pounding 4, I don't know, Big Macs, okay, a day. I'm going to be like, yo, you got to chill out.
Take a break.
Yeah, I don't even care if you're performing well. I'm like, just because I love you,
that sodium's gonna hit you one day. You know that sound on TikTok where it's like, zzz, it's just like that sodium one day.
Yeah, but in terms of health, I think that'll be pretty good. Again, these are kids. Also, I didn't specify to y'all. These kids do not go to school and they stay in the same house for a year. So they're not going to school. They're not doing anything else but training with us, right? So we get to control everything. So for my next thing, as we're going, June, July, and August, we're about to play practice matches throughout the wazoo. I remember this one time I was at the LTP clay tournaments for the girls, and I went up to this one coach because her team, the group of girls she brought, they were so good. So I just decided to sit down and talk to her. I said, "What's like your number one tip?" And she was like, "The biggest issues I see with a lot of kids training, I see a lot of tennis practicers, but I don't see a lot of tennis players. They do not play enough matches. They do not know how to lose and how to learn from losing. You need to start losing more so you can learn. If your players look at losing as something that's painful instead of something that's like happy and upbringing, then like they've got the whole concept wrong. But that's not something inherently that you can teach as a coach sometimes. They have to go through it. You have to lose enough matches until you realize, oh, I lost that. How do I learn from that? And I think that's the biggest thing killing people. And so for the group that I would have, we would play so many matches until they start learning the strategy naturally as well. Of course, like you said, I'm going to watch tons of film. We're going to go over tons of strategy. But it doesn't matter. Let's just say if I'm coaching you, it's not going to matter how many times I'll be like, Sophia, approach up the line. because when you approach up the
Yeah.
line, that's where you're going to win most of the time. That's not going to translate to you until you approach cross court 90% of times and lose
Then
90%.
get past,
Yeah,
like,
you're just
1,000
never you're
times.
never
Yeah.
going to believe. I can be the best coach on the planet, but until you run it 1,000 times and trust yourself, you're never going to do it as a player. So if you want to get better, and this is for anybody, you've got to play more matches. Play more matches and lose. I think if you're under 3 matches a week, it's too little.
Oh yeah.
Too
No,
little if you're
yeah.
playing less than 3 matches a
Every
week.
time I hit with my teammates, like when we didn't have any more playing days, like officially for the fall season,
Yeah.
we went into our off season and we were just hitting with each other. Every single time we would play points.
Yep.
It didn't matter. Like even if it was just a tiebreaker, like we would play points no matter what. Even if we wanted to work on something for the majority of the time, we would just end it up with a tiebreaker just to get the point play in. And one of the most frustrating things as a player, and this is something that I especially love about college because you don't run into this problem very often, is I hate, even when warming up, like even just hitting cross courts, when they're not actually playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're just swinging. Like your arm is warm. Like why are you just swinging?
Yep.
Why aren't you playing to the corner? Like, and people are like, oh well, like I don't want to like be too rude and like make you run. Girl, that's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
That is what we're here to do. Make me run. Like I love hitting with Kate.
Yeah.
I love hitting with Kate. She's so competitive. I'm so competitive. And it works so well. And it's so competitive to the point where it's like fun. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like we play these long points and like say like, the other day I was hitting with her and she hit like an incredible like cross court shot. And I just like literally, I missed it. I had already been running back and forth and I missed it. And I like just like fell onto my knees and I was just like, ugh. And I started laughing. I laughed that I missed the shot. Like, I feel like and you know, it's so weird. A year ago, I would not have done that.
Yeah.
Even a year ago. Oh my God, you know I wouldn't have done that. Can you imagine me in the 14s missing a cross-court shot? Oh my God, I would start screaming. That is like, it's like actually crazy. It's awful. No. You have to get to that point where like you just love the point so much that you don't even care you lost it.
Absolutely.
You just have to love the play of it. And you have to fight for those shots. Like even just like hitting cross court, Kate and I were doing it and like, you know, we're both swinging. Like and we're not apologizing when we hit an angle. We're running for it. Like,
Yeah.
like it was so funny. I was hitting with Anna and she hit a shot, like she hit a backhand down the line instead of cross court back to me. And she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "It's fine." And I ran and got it, hit it right back to her. And I just ran back. Like, girl, maybe I need to run.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I needed to run for that. That was the universe saying, "Sophia, you need to run more." And I was like, okay. So I ran for it and I hit it back. Like, seriously. Like, I don't have a problem with that. And I think it's so funny because I would apologize in juniors.
Yeah.
Like, I would hit a shot weird and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But now I'm like, girl, oh well. Get over it. Like, we're both here to
100%.
compete. Like, shaw. Like, don't complain.
I think that might be one of my most things I loathe the most when practicing with somebody. If I miss the ball out by 3-4 inches and you stop playing, hit the ball
Girl,
back.
run for the ball.
Hit the ball back in the court.
Oh my God, that's
like where
so
are
annoying.
you? Why are you stopping the point? Because I missed by a couple inches.
Why are you lazy?
Run, hit it. Actually, in practice, there are no outs. Just literally
even
run.
so, no, literally.
Run for every single ball and hit it back over.
Another thing about college. Oh my God. If like in juniors, like when I would practice, like it's, you know, we're playing a game for points so that we can move up, like bump up on the court, you know, as we would normally do. And my ball, like 3 inches to the left of the middle.
Yep.
And then that's their point. Like, girl, it was like the third ball. Like, and always in my head, I would always be like, really? Like, you couldn't just play that? But then because I was in that environment, I would even do that.
Yeah.
And luckily, now that I'm like in college now, like it's so nice because like it did take me a couple tries. The first time it caught me off guard when someone didn't call that ball out when I was hitting with them. And I was like, oh, wait, like they actually just want to like hit. And I was like, yes. And then like I'm like back to like not doing that. And it's so great. But like that was a big pet peeve of mine. Like I hated like 3 inches to the left of the center. Like seriously, you're gonna call that out, girl. Like there's not even a line there. Maybe it was on the line and you don't even know. Like shut up. Like just play the ball.
Tell me you've been playing too much dingles without telling me you've been playing too much dingles.
I hate dingles. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I hate dingles. I hate dingles so much.
Okay, closing in towards one of my last things.
Oh goodness.
Right before we get to that final year end, so through September and October, I'm going to put my team through stress test. And I mean, we might go hiking for 3 hours. I'm about to put them through some brutal challenges to things that where they sit there and they're like, there is no way if I do this, I can't go and hit a ball over a net.
Oh yeah.
Like to the point where tennis doesn't even become the focal point. It's like I've done things so crazy, right? I mean mental stress tests. I might give them the SAT and just make them take that for 2 days in a row. Because why not? I'm going to stress test them and see how they battle and see how they compete against any little thing.
I want to get them in the gym with someone that knows what they're doing, lifting, because I can't lie, like lifting, I've always loved the gym and I always loved lifting, but like lifting with my team is like so fun.
Oh yeah.
And it's so much better. It's like, I can't do it. Yes, you
can.
are.
Yes, you can.
You will, or else we're not eating tonight. Like, girl, you are gonna lift that up. I don't care. Like, oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. Keep going.
But that's a big thing. And like honestly, I wouldn't even mind having them like do lifting with like another team.
Yeah.
Just to like cross train it a little bit, or like even just to like switch it up and make them like low key. I would give them a stress test. Like, go play lacrosse. You don't make a goal. You don't get dinner. Like, go play rugby. No, I'm just kidding. Don't play rugby. That's a little much.
Your team's gone.
You gonna break a couple.
Broke his shoulder. I guess if I had to like put things in order, that I would say necessity, and I would go for anybody's training. First things first, like you said, mental health. Just get that squared. But I would get that squared away before anything, because that will hinder literally every bit of your training if you can't allow yourself to make mistakes. You're gonna make so many mistakes to the point where you've actually got to just tell yourself like it is okay to actually.
Oh well.
Yeah, I missed 1,000 balls a day. Oh, congratulations! I missed 1,000 balls.
At least you hit the 1,000.
Yeah, I hit 1,000 balls today. Second thing, get in shape. I don't like when people say, "Hey, I'm an athlete," but then you don't want to do the athletic part. You got to get in shape. You don't understand how many bad decisions you make when you're tired. Like, and that's just not on the court. That's just in life. You don't make good decisions past 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So again, if I'm tired on the court.
I can't lie, McDonald's is real good after 12 o'clock.
You know how many times we don't went to cookout at McDonald's past 12?
Do you know how many times like my roommate and I are like in our room and it's like 12:30 a.m. and she's like, Sophia. And I'm like, no, because I'm the one with the car. So all my friends come in and they're like, Sophia. And then they're like, we'll pay for you. And I'm like, oh.
That's where they get you.
My God.
That I'll pay for you. That's how they get you.
My God. It gets me. I'm like, no, you can't do this to me today.
Yeah. But I would say get in shape. Number 2, again, when you get in shape, you make better decisions. Obviously, you can get to the ball. 3, work on your footwork. Footwork is different from conditioning. Yes. You need the proper footwork for every ball. That is key. You need it. You can't be off.
Trying to roll ankles here.
Yeah, we can't. And the thing is, I think what a lot of people don't understand in tennis, when you play what I'm going to specify with correct technique, when you are off just a little bit in that chain, like if your foot is slightly off, if your racket's reaching just slightly, it's all wrong. And then people get, I know, really mad with people that hit the ball like this, but it doesn't require them to be on as balanced to hit the ball. Obviously, they can't hit the ball with as much quality, but that's why you can lose to somebody who
just gets it back.
Well, I'm going to use quotations here because I hate this word and this is a whole different podcast, but pusher. Don't use that word around me. But to the pusher, right? The moonballer, right? They're able to win because they get the ball back over, right? And again, if you're going to use what we call as, again, quotations, correct technique, you need to be really disciplined. There is no being a little off on your footwork. There's no being a little bit slow on your racket acceleration. Like, you've got to be clean every time.
I have 2 things.
Yeah, go ahead.
One, on the footwork and conditioning stuff. You always told me this. You always told me this. And I always remember it because it's so important. I may lose a match, but I'm not going to lose it because I lost energy or I got tired. I'm not going to lose because I ran out of stamina. I'm going to lose because I fought my tail off and they played better. Absolutely. That's why I'm going to lose. I'm not going to lose because I got tired and I didn't want to do it anymore. You know, I always remember that because every time I'm playing, I feel like I've always been a person that like other people see me and I'm like, Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of how other people see me. And so I feel like I've learned to use that.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's not something you're going to get rid of. You know, you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's certain things you just really can't change about yourself. You just have to learn to manipulate it, use it to
Absolutely.
your advantage. So I'm always like, what if someone came to watch my match and they saw me, like, not run for that ball?
I think that all the time. My biggest fear. Oh, my biggest
So
fear.
embarrassing. Like, imagine they're just like, oh, who is this Biggie who didn't run for that
Oh
ball?
my gosh.
Like, oh.
Biggie.
Oh.
When Coach Tony, even still today, comes and watches like me play,
I gotta run. I gotta run.
if I could never, and for anybody watching this, I could never allow her to see me not run for a ball.
I don't care if I miss it with a shank into the woods. I was there.
I might go home and actually start crying at the fact that she saw me not run for the ball.
Yeah.
That is how
I could hit the ball into my own face.
Absolutely.
I don't care. I got there.
I got there and I hit it. Like, that's the important part. Because again, if you think about most coaches, they never ask you to be perfect.
Yeah, no.
Never ask you to be perfect.
They just ask you to run for it.
And that's all you can do. Again, it's like people that play at higher levels just do the basics better, right? And one of the basics is just hustling. Do you hustle better than the next man, next woman? Like, do you actually just put in full effort? And I think a lot of people say they do, and it's a pet peeve of mine. I know a lot of people say they give 100%.
I know when
effort.
I didn't. I know when I didn't.
Now,
I'm not afraid to admit it.
I want to say something to this too, and then we can kind of call it and kind of wrap. But
I have 2 more things.
Oh no, we'll let you wrap. But I think there's a difference of like saying, "Hey, I got mad in a match and I kind of checked out," versus I gave up. I understand checking out.
No,
I have checked out of some matches. I have had easy putaways at the net, and I've been so frustrated. I swung so hard, caught the bottom of the racket. Absolutely, like one of the most disgusting shots in my life.
300 feet in the air, like in the bushes.
I've 100% checked out. I'm going to be honest. Checked out many a times. I've never given up though.
Yeah.
I've never sat there and like, okay, I did this one bad thing, and then I'm just gonna throw the whole rest of the match.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
When people tank just because they like got mad at a couple shots. Because I feel like I've gotten into like a very much a mindset of like, I lost that point. How many other ones did I win?
Yeah.
Like, you remember every point you lost. I can't even tell you like some of the best points I've ever played.
Yeah.
Because you don't remember the amazing points.
You don't.
Like, you remember the amazing points when you see them on TV. Like, you see someone on TV and you're like, oh, I remember when like Serena Williams hit this on like so-and-so. And you're like, I remember that amazing point. No one is going to be like, oh, do you remember when Serena hit that forehand in the net?
I know.
Like, why are you doing that to yourself? Like, you need to treat yourself like you're watching yourself on TV. That's why I love rewatching your matches.
Absolutely.
Because, like, then I'm like, oh, dang, like, that overhead was really good. Like, I set up that point perfectly to come into the net. And then I remember that. Rather than during the match, like, I miss, like, a forehand that was, like, an easy, like, approach. And I miss it just, like, at the top of the net. And, like, instead of, like, telling myself, like, oh, like, why did I miss that? Like, why are you reacting like that, girl?
Yeah.
Like, you know why you missed that. You didn't finish over your shoulder. You do it sometimes. It happens. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, it just... it's such a different mindset that you have to, like, get used to. Like, it's so hard to switch it up.
Brutal.
But
it's
college
difficult.
makes it so much easier. College tennis, it's almost like it's, like, already ingrained into it.
Yeah.
Or at least where I am. Like, it feels like it's already part of, like... like, I feel embarrassed if I react differently. You know what I mean? Now
absolutely.
I'm, like, embarrassed. Like, they saw me scream when I missed a forehand?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, that's so embarrassing. I'm gonna go cry in the bathroom later. Like,
And
stop.
And I'm not. Hey, and look,
Don't look at me.
I'm not against the showing emotion.
No,
like
yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand. There's some times where you just gotta let certain things out. I also, because I was talking about this earlier, with Jenny, and then we were talking about exactly what you're talking about. You always remember, your horrible shots, but you never remember the good ones.
Yeah.
And I think for me, and I was talking about this, in matches that are more crucial and have more pressure, it's easy for me to forgive myself. Right? When I know I'm playing strong level competition and I miss a ball.
You don't expect as much.
Right? Not even that I just don't expect as much. It's I know to beat that person on the other side of the net, I have to be locked in. Like, I don't have time to sit here
Yeah.
and complain. The person on the other side of the net is too good. But the moment you play somebody you know you could wax,
It's gone.
it's gone. It's gone. Your mental, you missed 2 volleys? Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
I
I'm
need to get
checked.
outta here.
I'm checked out.
No, yeah. I think that's why that first singles match at Navy was such a shock for me.
Yeah.
Because that was the first like college singles match that I was playing not against someone on my team. So that was like, and it's so interesting because I tried to keep such a positive attitude,
Mhm.
but it's like I was focusing so hard on like a positive attitude that I was just like, I was like locked out of like tennis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was focused so hard on like, oh my God, like I can't act like a junior.
Yeah.
I can't act like a junior. And really, instead of thinking I can't act like a junior, I should be thinking I just need to play relaxed.
Absolutely.
I just need to play like she's like a 7.5, 8 UTR.
Yep.
She's good. Like I just need to play relaxed, play my game. I've beat 7, 8 UTRs. Like I can do that. I can't get fixated on the wrong thing. Like, and I feel like that's so easy to do, but it's so much easier to get yourself out of it when you're around people that are able to like help you out of it, or like they're able to show that they can do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's so much easier to grow in college.
Yeah.
It is 10 times easier to grow. Like, I had many times this past semester where I was really struggling. And, you know, I'm not one to like call home and be like,
Yeah.
Mom, Dad, like I need to talk. Like I'm just not one to do that. My sister loved like to call home. I just really am not one to do that. And it's so amazing how fast my friends and I like became like so close because we each had our, you know, own little problems, but we
Yeah.
each helped each other to grow into it. You know what I mean? And I just like I was talking to her about that, and she was telling me like she had probably like the past 2 months, she was like, I've probably had like the best time of my life in Bali. And she's like, and like, this is amazing. Like, I love it here. And she said, but I know, like, obviously that is not what it is 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And the big thing that she said for me was when she said, and these past couple weeks, I, you know, had the reverse and I didn't have a great couple weeks. But I'm so proud of myself
Yeah.
because of how much faster I bounced back than I would have in the past.
Mhm.
And that's what she said. And it's not that like, oh, like I'm upset, like that I had this problem. No, I'm so proud of myself for bouncing back even just a little bit faster than I did the last time this happened.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so big and such a beautiful mindset to have, because I did have like a whole month during school that I was just like awful. Like I felt awful.
Yeah.
It was so hard to get up for class. It was so hard to go to practice. Some practices I just like wouldn't even talk, and that is so atypical for me. Like even my teammates, they were like, Sophia, like what? You
Yeah.
okay? And I was like, no, I'm fine. And they were like, and I was like, I'm tired. And they were like, uh-oh.
Yep, thumbs up.
No, they were like, that is not Sophia. Like it was a really rough month, and it kind of like took. I have to shout out to Natalie.
Shout out Natalie.
Shout out to Natalie. I love her so much. I think Natalie and I are like two completely different people. Natalie is like my mom. Natalie is like my mom. I can't lie. Like they have such similar personalities. She's so rational, and
Yeah.
she's so like problem solving, and she doesn't ever let her emotions get the better of her. Like she obviously is like gets excited about things, but she's never gonna be like, oh my God, like that really hurt me.
Yeah.
Like someone says something, she's like, okay. You know what I mean? Like she does not care. So we're complete opposites in that sense, and I think she even really helped me like to think in the big picture and be like, not even be like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? Because I didn't even know really what was going on. It was just, I just wasn't feeling good. And she really just helped me to be like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do about it? Because, like, she's like, you don't feel good. We don't know what's going on, but
Yeah.
what do you want to do about it? And so, like, we would go on a walk. We would go on a drive. Like, we would go play tennis. You know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
we would just sit and talk for like an hour. And it was so like, it's such a beautiful mindset to think, because I had never thought the entire time when I didn't feel good, I thought to myself, like, what's wrong? Like, how do I fix it? Stuff like that. And she put that, like, my friend in Bali, she really put that out there that like, oh, I'm so proud of myself for how I bounced back, or like bouncing back just a little bit faster. And she was like, it's not about like finding out why, it's just about finding out like what makes you better when you feel
Yeah.
like that. And I was like, "Ah, that is such a beautiful mindset. Like, I just love that."
Shout out Natalie.
I know. And I love Natalie. Oh my God.
We'll make sure to put that in there for
She's
Natalie.
amazing.
Man. And I often tell people this, a lot of people ask me, is college worth it? And I tell them
Yes.
I tell people for the education part, maybe not so. Can you learn a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
and a lot of the trades now? Absolutely. But what you said is my number one reason why I tell people, okay, the investment's kind of good. The amount of growth you
Life
get
experience. Yeah.
from college, you're only a freshman now and you're talking about how your experience is, or wait until you're a senior.
I know.
To this day, I sit there and I think about how much I grew when I first got there. Obviously, you're gonna feel a little homesick maybe for a little bit. I had great friends. Great. I had a
I'm
great
sorry, Mom and Dad. I did not. I'm sorry.
yeah. But you think about your home a little bit. It might not
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
completely
yeah.
homesickness, but
Yeah.
again, I got there and I had a great friend group, great people
Mhm.
that support me. But it taught me like, oh my God, when I get older, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna meet people that are gonna help me. It isn't like just the people that I left are gonna be the only people to help me in life. Like I'm gonna learn how to do all these things I never thought I was gonna do before. And so again, college in that aspect, I tell everybody, take the 4 years and still be a child at when you can. And it's not going to hurt you to have that degree. Honestly, nowadays, that college degree is like a high school degree. A high school degree is pretty much nothing nowadays. You
Mhm.
need even a college degree to get into like the most basic things. And so again, take that time, take that 4 years and relax and still be a kid. Right? You have
Yeah.
all your whole entire life. So to I don't know, to be a grown up. And yes, you might be in a little debt. Okay, cool. You're always going to be in some type of debt. I'm going to be honest. Most
Yeah.
people are going to be in some type of debt either way. Now, again, if you did well in school beforehand and you got your grants and your scholarships and everything, it won't be too bad. But again, I would tell people it's more worth it than not to actually take that time, go to college, be a kid, learn how to grow up.
Mhm.
And again, networking, and we'll save this for another thing, but networking and having that experience with different people, you will be surprised the friends that you will meet that will set you up in life. You will be surprised.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of just end it there for that because I don't want to go too much on a tangent. I think you
Yeah.
had
Sorry, I still have 2 more
yeah,
things.
go ahead.
Um, just like going off of like the friendship thing, I think it's weird. Like college is so different. Like I didn't honestly think it would be like super different,
Yeah.
but it's like so different. Like even the friends you make up there, so different.
Yeah.
For example, like I feel like I had a lot of friends here, but I feel like I had a lot of like friends, you
Yeah.
know? I feel like I have like a family up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like I had friends here, but some of them kind of drifted here and there, and this sounds so selfish, but I feel like I didn't have anyone who was ever like, "Hey Sophia, like are you okay? I noticed a little something was off."
Yeah.
Whenever I had a bad day, I felt like, and you never want to bring it up, Like you
Absolutely.
never want to go
Absolutely.
up to someone and be like, "Hey,
Absolutely.
can I talk to you?"
Yeah.
Like,
I get it.
like, ew. I would never do that. But like,
You'll grow out of that.
I know. I've grown a little bit more. Like, I've grown more from it because Nat, I'll do that with Nat. But like up at school, like it caught me so off guard. I like someone I didn't even know super well, and I like left lunch one time, and I was there for like 15 minutes, and like lunch is when like me and my friends, like we all spend like an hour together
Yeah.
to eat and really just talk. And I left after like 15 minutes, and I barely ate anything, and I just was like going back to my room. I don't know what it was. That was like a day where I was like, ugh. And someone who didn't really know me that well at that moment, like sprinted from the back of the lunchroom to where I was leaving, like
Yeah.
beside like the dish thing. And he was like, "Hey, like are you all right? Like I noticed like a little something was off." And he was like, and I was like, "Mhm." And he was like, "Just like let me know if you need to chat or something, like I'm here for you." And then he just walked back to the table. And I was just like, "Huh."
Yeah. Isn't that nice? Just something as small as that. It's just so simplistic. You're like,
And yeah, and like another one of my friends, it's actually
shout out
he's
Nat.
he,
Oh, it's not Nat.
No, it's not Nat.
Oh.
It's Nat's boyfriend, Matt.
Oh. No, hey, we got to change his name. Somebody got to change their name. Not Matt. We can't do.
I know. Whenever they're both in our room, I'll be like, Nat, and they both go, huh? And I'm like, no, Natalie. Like I had to say their full names. No, but Matthew, oh my God, he's such a nice person. He's like actually such an angel. Love him. But back before they were dating, like we were all friends, and we were at homecoming. Actually, we were at the homecoming soccer game, and we were just walking around like the tailgate, and he said to me, he was like, "Hey, Sophia," and I was like, "Yeah," and just out of nowhere, he was like, "I don't think I ever said this, but you're a really good friend."
Yeah. Yeah.
What in
That'll do
the
it.
world? I love college. Like, don't. Like, it's just so. It's so much more mature.
It is.
It's
a lot
so
more.
much, even as a freshman, and like obviously you're gonna meet the people that are not mature, but like,
Yeah, high
oh my
school and everything,
God,
and
it's so stupid.
even with
High
me,
school's
wasn't
so
super
stupid.
clicky in high school for me. But high school is way more clickier than college.
Oh,
College is like, hey, we're adults.
we don't care.
We're adults now. We're just here. Like whatever you like is what you like.
Yeah.
If you don't like me, you don't like me. We're cool.
Yeah.
We're past. Like I don't have to
No,
say
that's
anything
so
mean to you.
true.
It's just we're just gonna worry about our own lives and
Yeah.
move on.
Okay, I'm gonna really quickly, while we're on friends, end with the last thing I have written down
Okay.
about the 10 or like year-long 5 players thing. So big. They need to have other friends besides friends in the house, because I'm not gonna lie, they're
Amen.
gonna rip if it's girls, they're gonna rip each other's hair out in that freaking house. They need to go out, have another outlet where it can even be like, if all 5 of them have a separate interest, they can all go like on their free day or like on Sunday or something like that. Like go to their little free like thing that they have, like their activity, and they meet friends there. Great, fantastic, because I'm not gonna lie, I like have had times where practice was just so, I didn't like it. Like I was just like not in the good mindset. Like I wasn't playing well. And it sucks because you love your teammates, but like someone goes like, "It's okay, like you got it." Like it is not okay today. All right. Like, you know what I mean? Like even that, like it's not, again, like I love my team, but like some days, like I just have a day and I'm like, I will hurt you. Shut up. Like
Yeah.
stop talking to me. I can't. And like just being able to like talk to someone who's not a tennis player.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, like it was just so frustrating today. Like I just didn't have it today, and I didn't have the patience, and I didn't have the shots. And they're like, well, like you're done with it now. And I'm like, you're so right. And we can just not talk about it anymore.
Yep.
Like it's so important to have friends outside of tennis.
Well, I think we'll end there.
Oh my
This is
God,
good.
that was fun.
This is really fun.
I love this. This is
This is good.
awesome. I love tennis.
Yeah, when you have your next break, we gotta figure out.
Summer.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, God bless your team. In the meantime.
We go to California for spring.
Ooh.
I mean, for spring break.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, we go to California because our conference is coast to coast. So we play. We fly to California and play like a tournament with everyone on that coast for spring break.
Well, good luck.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'll definitely. Hopefully they post them live, like they have.
Oh, they
been.
should. I think it'll be only a couple courts. It won't be all of them, but you'll definitely be able to see doubles. I think it's like 3 courts that we put online.
Yeah.
So doubles goes first, so you'll definitely be able to see doubles, and then the first 3 courts, I think.
Perfect.
So yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. This was the first episode of Champions in Pursuit. Everybody clap it up for Sophia if you're on the other end. Please like, follow, subscribe. Follow us on TikTok, Champions in Pursuit. Same with our YouTube page. Same thing, Champions in Pursuit. Thank you. Y'all take care. God bless you. Love you. Bye. Toodaloo.